Hey guys, I'm getting ready to make a cream of squash soup, but I'm going to also add another variety, another type of squash in there. I'm going to add some butternut squash, and I'm going to add some sweet potato chunks. Alright, so that's what I'm going to put in my squash, and I'm going to put an onion in there. I'm going to let it all boil, then I'm going to puree it until it's smooth and creamy, and then I'm going to add my seasonings, and I'm going to actually butter some sourdough bread and put it in my soup in a soup bowl, put it in the oven and bake it, and then top it with some Parmesan cheese. And that's what I'm going to eat for dinner. Alright, so I'll show you as I go. Okay, as you can see, I have everything in there. I'm going to put some water. If you want to use vegetable broth, you can, but I watch my salt, so I add my seasoning after the food is done, so that way I don't put too much salt in it. Alright, I'm going to let that cook on low until everything is tender, and then I'm going to take it out and puree it. Let this cook down, so now I'm getting ready to drain it and puree it and put it back in the pot. Alright, so this is what the cream squash and potatoes look like. So now I'm going to add a little bit of coconut milk. About a half of a can, and this is another brand that I use sometimes. I get it off the Hispanic Spanish aisle. It's the same thing, just as good, and I think it's a little cheaper. All right, so I'm gonna stir this. And if it's thicker than you want it to be, if it's thicker than you like it, then you can add some vegetable broth. You can add a little bit more coconut milk if you like. And you can even add water, it's up to you, but the vegetable broth actually will add a little bit of sodium to it and a little bit of flavor. So it's entirely up to you. I think I'm going to add a little bit more milk, probably just add the whole can. So, because I don't like mine that thick, and I don't measure, so you know, it's not like, and you know, each squash, you know, weighs the same. You're gonna have you know, squash that weighs a little bit more than the other, potatoes a little bit more than others, so you may not always come out with the same ounces, you know, of potatoes and squash, so therefore you have to modify your liquid. So that looks really, really good too. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my onion powder, my turmeric, my garlic powder, and I'm gonna put a pack of the Food Lion onion soup mix in here as well, just one pack, and some curry powder. I'm going to put a little bit of nutritional yeast in here, Mrs. Dash. All right, I put about 2 tablespoons of vegan butter, and I put in my pack of no, it's not Lipton, it's the Food Lion brand soup mix. And I did find another one at Dollar General. They have one too that is vegan, but I use the Food Lion brand in this one, just a plain onion, just to give it a little bit of kick, a little bit of flavor, and it adds a little bit of salt, because I do try to watch my salt. And this is several servings, so even though the packet, you know, looks like it's a whole lot of sodium, it's going to be divided up into several different servings, so therefore that cuts the salt, you know, up. So I've already put my nutritional yeast in here, and I'm going to also put a half a bag of mozzarella cheese, vegan. All right, so I have my cheese in there, I have my soup mix in there, and just taste it at this point to see if it's salty enough for you, or if you need to add additional seasonings. You know, and just, of course, gauge it by your own taste buds. My taste buds and your taste buds are different, so you might want more sodium or whatever. Now, we'll tell you, because we do have the sweet potatoes in here, and butternut squash in here. It has like a sweet taste, so it's a sweet salty taste, but it's very, very good. And of course the yellow squash as well. So again, if it's too thick for you, add a little bit more. You can even add almond milk, like I said earlier, or add a little bit of vegetable broth. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to put it in a soup bowl with a lid, but we're going to put some sourdough bread in it. I'm going to probably grill the sourdough bread first, put it in there and put the lid on it and let it sit for a minute, and then sprinkle some vegan Parmesan cheese on it, and then we'll be ready to eat. All right, let's let this sit for a minute and let those onions that's in that soup, dry soup, cook down some. Right, y'all, I cut up my sourdough bread in little small pieces, and now I'm getting ready to put my soup in my soup bowl that my BFF gave me, Rosetta Thompson gave me, and I'm gonna put some Parmesan cheese on top and put it in the oven for a few minutes and let it brown, and then I'm gonna eat it. All right, so I put my soup in the bowl. I put my bread around the edges, my sourdough around the edges, and I put some Parmesan and mozzarella cheese in the middle. And now I'm going to sit it in the oven and, of course, let it bake a little bit until everything melts on the top. And then we're going to eat. And there you have it. God has created an amazing day, a great day just for us. And He's allowing us to manage it. So manage it well.